These tiaras are truly priceless, but not just because they are insanely expensive, but because they have seen the reigns of many monarchs and many dramatic events. The most expensive and famous tiaras of the British royal family that take your breath away in today's video. But before we start, please support our channel by clicking the like and subscribe buttons below. Thank you. Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, about 165,000 pounds. This unique tiara, which can also be worn as a necklace, was given to Princess Mary of Teck by the girls of Great Britain and Ireland on the occasion of her wedding to George V in 1893. The next owner of the tiara was Queen Elizabeth II, who also received the jewelry as a wedding gift. Elizabeth was grateful for the gift and called the diadem Granny's tiara. She wore the tiara a lot as a princess and then as Queen Elizabeth II. For a special reception at Mansion House in October 2023, Elizabeth's daughter-in-law, Queen Camilla, made her debut in the tiara. By the way, we have a separate video about this tiara on our channel. You can find a link to it in the description box below. George IV State Diadem, about 500,000 pounds. The George IV State Diadem, officially known as the Diamond Diadem, one of the oldest and most important pieces in the royal collection, featuring 4 cross putty alternating with 4 sprays of a rose for England, a thistle for Scotland, and a shamrock for Ireland, set with 1,333 diamonds, including a 4-carat pale yellow brilliant in the center of the front cross, on a base of diamonds and 2 bands of pearls. This diamond diadem was commissioned from Rundell and Bridge by King George IV in 1820 for 8,216 pounds and originally included diamonds that were hired for 800 pounds, though it appears that they were later traded for other diamonds in the king's collection. Queen Alexandra's Kokoshnik tiara, about 550,000 pounds. When the Prince and Princess of Wales were celebrating their silver wedding anniversary in 1888, 365 ladies of society raised funds to present this diamond Kokoshnik tiara to the future Queen Alexandra. Originally composed of 77 graduated diamond bars, the tiara, which can also be worn as a necklace, was created by Garrard, the crown jeweler. This design of the tiara is based, at the request of Queen Alexandra, on the design of a Russian diamond Kokoshnik tiara worn by her sister, Empress Mary Feodorovna of Russia. The Baltimore tiara, over 926,000 pounds. Famously, Princess Margaret wore the Baltimore tiara in a photo her husband Anthony Armstrong Jones took of her in the bathtub. The shoulders-up image was quite scandalous at the time. The tiara was later auctioned off following the death of the princess, selling for £92,000 and £6,400 to a private buyer in 2002. The Cartier Hollow tiara, about £1,300,000. The tiara is a relatively small and minor one, but it has always been in the main line of the British royal family. Made by Cartier in 1936, it was an anniversary gift from King George VI, then still Duke of York, to his wife Elizabeth, who we all know better as the Queen Mum. The tiara later became a gift for the future Queen Elizabeth II on the occasion of her coming of age. However, Elizabeth II never wore the tiara in public. Instead, She often lent it to her younger sister, Princess Margaret, and then to her daughter, Princess Anne. The tiara later went into storage and was not seen for many years until Kate Middleton arrived at Westminster Abbey for her royal wedding in 2011. The Delhi Darbar Tiara, about £1,500,000. This tiara was made by Garrard in 1911 as part of the pageant made for the Delhi Darbar in India. It used diamonds from the diamond loop tiara. Originally, 10 of the Cambridge emeralds were set in detachable mounts on the top of this tiara, but they were permanently removed in 1922 for use in the Vladimir tiara. In 1912, the tiara was adapted to use either or both the Cullinan 3 and 4. And sometime before 1946, slight alterations were made to the center and top border of the tiara. The Greville tiara, about £1,500,000. The Greville tiara, also known as the Boucheron honeycomb tiara, first belonged to Mrs. Margaret Greville, a British Society hostess and philanthropist. It was created by Lucien Hirds, chief designer of Boucheron for Mrs. Greville in 1921. The tiara entered the royal family in 1942 when Mrs. Greville passed away with no children, leaving her jewelry collection to Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, who was a good friend. In 2005, after Prince Charles married Camilla, the tiara was loaned to the Duchess of Cornwall on a long-term basis. Queen Mary's diamond bandeau, about £2 million. Another tiara of historical importance is Queen Mary's diamond bandeau. This sparkling piece of jewelry is one of the most well-known items in the royal family's collection, as it was worn by Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, for her wedding to Prince Harry in 2018. It's estimated to be worth around £2 million. Queen Mary's Lover's Knot Tiara, about £2 million to £4 million. This tiara was made in 1913 by E. Wolf and Co. for Garrard, using diamonds and pearls from the Ladies of England tiara, pearls from the top of the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, and a few more pearls from the other pieces of jewelry. It was modeled after a tiara owned by Queen Mary's grandmother, Princess Augusta, who was the Duchess of Cambridge, and she later had the top row of pearls removed. The Princess Andrew's Meander Tiara, about £2 million to £4 million. The tiara is made of diamonds, and the Greek key design is punctuated by a central laurel wreath element and 2 honeysuckle elements. The design suggests an early 20th century creation. Fittingly, it belonged to Princess Andrew of Greece and Denmark. Today, it's owned by her granddaughter, Princess Anne. In 2011, it was worn by Zara Phillips at her wedding to Mike Tindall. The Lotus Flower Tiara, about £4 million. The Lotus Flower Tiara was originally a necklace owned by the Queen Mother in 1923. She then changed it to become a tiara and later gifted it to Princess Margaret. The tiara, comprised of diamond arches and pearls, was then given to Kate Middleton. The Queen Mary's Fringe Tiara, about £5 million. Originally gifted to Queen Mary by Queen Victoria for her wedding, the fringe tiara features a row of perfectly cut spires studded with diamonds. It was Her Majesty's something borrowed for her 1947 wedding and was worn again by Princess Anne on her wedding day in 1973. Most recently, the Queen lent the tiara to Princess Beatrice for her 2020 wedding to Edoardo Mapelli Mozzi. The stunning piece is valued at over £5 million. The Queen Victoria's Oriental Circlet Tiara, about 6 million pounds. Prince Albert designed this magnificent tiara that features lotus flowers within 17 Mughal arches set in 2600 diamonds from Garrads in London for around 860 pounds in 1853. In the original version, it was decorated with opals, but in 1901, Princess Alexandra, who became the new owner of the jewelry, replaced them with rubies. The Belgian Sapphire Tiara, about 6,200,000 pounds. The gems belonging to this tiara were originally owned by Princess Louise of Belgium before she was forced to sell her jewelry. Since then, the tiara has been owned by Queen Elizabeth II and most recently worn by Queen Camilla. The Burmese Ruby Tiara, about 7 million pounds. The Burmese ruby tiara was personally commissioned by Elizabeth II in 1973 and is set with 96 diamonds and rubies given to the Queen by a delegation from Burma, which explains the unusual name. The tiara depicts a wreath of scarlet roses, which are one of the symbols of England. The Greville Emerald Kokoshnik Tiara, about 10 million pounds. Worn by Prince Eugene of York when marrying Jack Brooksbank on 12 October 2018, the Greville Emerald Kokoshnik Tiara is made of rose-cut paved diamonds set in platinum and is adorned with 6 emeralds. The center features a 93.7 carat cabochon-cut emerald. The distinctive diamond and emerald headpiece made by the French jeweler Boucheron in 1919 is estimated to be worth 10 million pounds, the most expensive of all the tiaras studied. Thank you for watching this video. Share your impressions in the comments and support my channel by subscribing and liking. Thank you.